Hi, I'm Dr. Jacob Henriksen, and I'm going to explain to you how you end up getting disc bulging and disc herniations, and then eventually how that turns into degenerative disc disease or degenerative joint disease, because it's a very similar concept. Now, because we're standing creatures, and the spine is in a vertical position, gravity pulls down on us. We call this axial compression. And as you get older over time, if you're not cognizant of your spinal posture or take care of yourself, your spine can start to get compressed to the point where you start to squish down and lose posture, and you see these elderly people like that. Now, when that happens, because of the compressive forces on the spine, things get literally squished. So this is a vertebra, two vertebrae, and a disc. Here's your spinal cord and your nerves. When gravity pulls us down, squishes us, squish, 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 just like that, the disc gets smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where it does what? It'll eventually bulge or herniate. When we see that here, compression, 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 extruded disc, bulging disc, here's the disc from a top-down view, putting pressure onto the nerve. Here's a side view right here, compression, disc bulges, herniates out, puts pressure on your nerve. Now that's what ends up happening because things get compressed over time. In a prior video, I explained how this compressive forces can happen. Now, as that continues to happen, imagine a sponge that's filled with water. And if you took that sponge and you just kept compressing it like this over time, what happens? The sponge starts to dry out at an accelerated rate. And as you keep pressing it down and the water keeps coming out and the sponge continues to dry and dry and dry and dry, well, the compression all the way down like this, the sponge dries and then it dries in this compressed position. It looks like a pancake. It's all dry and crusty. It doesn't work anymore. And that's what ends up happening to the vertebra and the discs. They continue to get compressed. They start to get arthritis because the fluid, the lubrication in the area is literally being pressed out of it, right? And the rest of the body's absorbing it. And it gets to this point where you have this advanced arthritis or degenerative disc disease. You still have bulging because what's left of the disc is putting pressure on the nerve. As you can see, the nerves are all small and dried out as well because now they're being compressed. So what ends up happening, how we get these disc bulges and herniations, is due to, again, spinal compressive forces and vertebrae that aren't functioning properly. They're not moving properly. And this squishes us down, dries everything out, and then we start to get this advanced degeneration. The same concept can happen in any joint, in your shoulder, in your hip, in your knee, in your ankle. These compressive forces start to get degenerative joint disease because we lose what? We start to lose space in the joint. So as chiropractors, our job is to decompress your joints, open everything up so we get more space, and then also move the joints so they start to function better, taking away the pain and preventing long-term degenerative changes.